Welcome back. It's your friendly neighborhood wizard. We're here. Can I get some applause? Finally, through week 3. Means we're a quarter of the way through our creative recovery journey. And we did it. If you've been following along with me, congratulations, you're here. And here we are. So let's get straight into it. How many pages this week did you do your morning pages? How's the experience for you? If you skipped a day, why did you skip it? Of course, I did not skip a day at all. I didn't skip a day at all. There were a few days where I ain't complete 3 pages. I gotta be honest. I might have did 2.5. There's a couple of days. I mean, this has been sprinkled like that throughout the entire journey so far. But I'm getting close to 3 pages every day. So we still moving through it. My experience, it's actually crazy because it was for a minute where it's I came to a point where I felt like I was in a rut. I was in a rut and I was writing. And it felt like I was writing a lot of negative stuff. I went back to pre-journey. We're writing a lot of negative stuff. Just doubting myself is that censor, as the book calls it. The censor came back and it was just who are you? It was the blurts. That's all I was writing. All I was writing was blurts. Who are you? You're useless. You're talentless. You're doing all this shit for naught. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Just go back to what you need to be doing. And I was like, dang. I wrote all that, and it's writing that once or twice every couple days, or for writing just that for a couple days. I immediately broke through it, and the next day I'm writing all this positive stuff. Oh, don't listen to all that. Don't listen to negativity. You needed that negativity just to get through it, just to break through it. You needed to write about that just to break through it. And it's actually crazy, going through something like that. And yeah, I mean, again, I experienced writing, and it's just so going through. How did you do your artist date this week? And what did you do? How did it feel? Artist date this week. I went to Little 5 Points, little spot in Atlanta, basically spot for hipsters. It's a spot for hipsters. And I just kind of wasted the day where in there. I went into Ragorama, a nice little vintage store, just walked around, seen some stuff. I didn't really buy much. I went to Criminal Records. Criminal Records is a vinyl store in that area. Like I said before, how I just wanted to go vinyl shopping, and I did. I didn't buy any vinyl. I didn't buy anything, but other than I bought this one gift at this spot called Junkyard's Daughter. Is it called Junkyard's Daughter? Daughter's Graveyard? Daughter's Graveyard? Junkyard? Junkyard's Daughter. That's what I'm going to call it. A little spot, just got a bunch of miscellaneous items in there. I bought a incense burner because I needed one that wasn't going to spill all over the place. Because I have one, it was just spilling all over the place and getting burnt incense everywhere. But I got a new one. And also got this hat from my boy Apollo, because later that night I actually went to an open mic where Apollo was performing. He was a featured artist. Congratulations to him. That was a great performance. I loved it. And, it was great. Whoa. And on that note, it's last week was a very tiresome week. Because I was working hard on, just trying to get stuff completed. I edited and was sending photos and sending videos to my boy Josh for the song that we produced. Jaylee Anthony, so the song we produced. Or a song I produced for him. He performed on it. I also made my own song. I was doing a lot of recording myself. I was actually doing a lot of creative stuff, and I was, pushing hard, and I got tired and just started falling asleep, and, not falling asleep, but I was getting very, very tired and worn down throughout the week. And it's one thing I'm coming out of this week knowing is I need to learn to prioritize rest, prioritize recovery, prioritize that when I'm coming forward. And I've had these moments in the past, and that's why I was like, I had these moments of burnout and all this. Like, dang, I just keep burning out. And I finally come to the realization, it's like, oh, I haven't got the clarity of mind to realize, oh, it's because I'm not prioritizing rest. I'm keep trying to push. I see any wink of time and I'm going to push through that until I'm mentally burnt out or physically burnt out, spiritually burnt out. It's like I need to prioritize rest. Like again, there's an artist date where it's like creative recovery, trying to spiritual recovery. You need filling the well, but it's like I need to fill the well by I'm out here missing meals because I'm just thinking past it. Just I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to shoot this vid, I need to get this song out. I'm trying to do all that. I need to be here, need to be there. It's like, I'm not resting. I'm not actually resting, taking time to sleep. Funny story. Actually, I'm gonna read this next question because it goes into that. Did you experience any synchronicity this week? What was it? So it's funny because I was I remember writing and I remember thinking like pushing towards. I needed to start networking, reaching out to people, and networking. So New Year's Eve, I meet this guy. His name is Zarius. If you know him on Instagram or know him anywhere, great producer, guitar player, has all these placements. I was just talking to him because, funny enough, we trained at the same boxing gym. I saw him like, oh, you train at this boxing gym. Talking to him, we're getting this great conversation, and we're talking. And again, this is New Year's. Well, it's New Year's, past New Year's at this point. I collapse. I just straight up collapse. Just collapse. And everybody in there is thinking, oh, this guy's drunk off his mind. He's sick. He's on drugs. And I just collapsed and is realizing that whole night before, the whole previous night, not New Year's Eve, but the previous night, I didn't sleep a wink. I did not sleep a wink. New Year's Eve, I worked that day. I made it here. And I probably ate once that morning. Make to the end, of course, a couple of drinks. It's New Year's. You got a shot or two. But I wasn't drunk. I wasn't inebriated. I wasn't out of my mind. So just collapsing just randomly, just so confusing. It's like, well, you're not prioritizing rest, bro. I'm not resting. I wake up that next day, after I get home, thank God, thanks to a few friends I was with, I get home, sleep just a few hours, I'm up, I'm trying to do more. It's like, oh, bro, you need to prioritize rest. Prioritize rest. And yeah, that's something I really did learn this week. Any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? Describe them. Well, yeah, there's that. I've always been having this thing was like, there's the video and there's music, and I love both, but I see visions in both, and they kind of go in separate directions, and it's like coming to a point where, and I'm not saying I'm at that crossroads right now, but it's coming to a point. It's like, what do I prioritize? What is my true brand? And I always see so much about everybody trying to do everything all at once, trying to be the multi-dimensional creative, trying to be all this, trying to be all that, trying to multitask everything. And I've never had that. I never had that one. I didn't want to be all this and everything else, and all this is just. I had things I want to be, and things I'm expected to be. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Like things where you're expected to be. Things that you have to be, or you want to be, and always been like this do-it-yourself type of person. I come from a point where I wanted to do stuff as a kid, and I didn't have no money, or my parents were going to pay for this to happen, or pay for me to get this, or I didn't know who to reach out to, so I was like doing it myself. I started making beats because I liked writing and I wanted to write songs, so I wanted to learn how to make beats so I can have my own beats to make songs. Eventually I get into producing. I'm just making beats, just to make beats, and I'm having I'm meeting artists and other rappers to hop on the beats with hop on my beats. I'm all over the place today. Bear with me. And video, I've always wanted to shoot videos, so I get a camera. It's like, oh, I'm shooting videos, and I'm getting more attention than I expect to be. I like in the last year, I had a couple clients. I was making money. I'm going these places. I'm shooting all this stuff, and it's so exciting, and I love it. But these are two very big creative avenues that kind of have that could, not saying they will or they always do, diverging pathways. And it's seeing is like, what is my main thing? I don't want to, I'm talking about prioritizing rest, prioritizing recovery. And the last thing I want to do is consistently always spreading myself too thin. So I'm not bringing my best effort in every project or everything I'm trying to do. And that's something that's like coming across my mind in the past week, especially with these occurrences of me just being tired and worn down and collapsing of exhaustion at fucking 1 a.m. on New Year's Day. But anyway, let's get into the task that I had to do this week. All right, so I had a task of finding this stuff is hard. I had a task of describing my childhood room. So, I go through that. I had several versions of my childhood room, variations of my childhood room. When I was a little kid, and my brother still lived there, like right before he moved out, or right after he moved out. I don't have too much memory of it. I just remember I had like these green bed sheets and like these nice big like dresser and nightstand. I think I had green wallpaper. I can't even remember the wallpaper like that, but I had big wood dresser and a big wooden nightstand. I specifically remember that one of them I like carved into it with a pencil, carved into the nightstand, the top of the nightstand with a pencil, or like some scissors or something. I carved into it because I'm a kid and I was too bored. Freaking puppy dog just gnawing and doing shit. And my dad like grinded it and like fixed it and put like a different varnish on it. And it was like noticeably lighter than the rest of the nightstand. And I had that for a few years. But then it comes time to my room was renovated. I don't remember how old I was. I might have been like 4 or 5, maybe 6. 4 or 5, maybe 6, who knows. I had an all Spider-Man room. I had a Spider-Man ceiling fan, I had a Spider-Man wallpaper, big like Spider-Man splash with him just, doing what Spider-Man does. Amazing Spider-Man stuff. I had a 10 poster that I had. Shouts out to my dad because he did all that. All the light switches and plugs. The outlets had the little Spider-Man themed covers. And I don't know, I love that room. I loved that room. And my favorite thing was it was this old, well, it was old eventually got old. I had an alarm clock. It was like shaped like a city block with Spider-Man perched on top of it. And if you press like the snooze button, it was singing the Spider-Man song. I mean, eventually it like kind of stopped, or it was like really slow and really quiet because it obviously needed new batteries and the batteries never got replaced. So eventually it just stopped working. But bless me, wow. That's kind of what it was. My next iteration room was what I got when I was going into middle school, or maybe like in middle school. And that's kind of what my room is now. I don't remember the length of time or how old I was, exact years and dates I had these rooms. It's the same room, but just different arrangements and different renovations to it. And so we took down the wallpaper, and instead now it was 2 shades of blue. One was a light blue, one was a dark blue on one side. And I remember I just wanted to do that, so I like painted my room and did that stuff like myself. My dad helped me, but that's kind of what I chose to do. And that's kind of how my room is now. I got rid of the ceiling fan, got a regular ceiling fan. Well, regular ceiling fan. It's a ceiling fan with the light on it. the remote control light. Wow, that's kind of what I have today. I still say the favorite thing in my room that I could have possibly have, specifically in my room, was like that clock, alarm clock, because it was, I don't know, I was very attached to it because I just, love seeing it. Always had it in my hand, just playing with it for just any reason. So yeah. So, other stuff. 5 childhood accomplishments. It's crazy because I only wrote 4 because I could only think of 4. I once won a fight at the barbershop. And this is a really big thing because, I don't know, my whole life I was been told, like, oh, by my dad, oh, you gotta be tough, son, you gotta be tough. I was getting beat up at daycare, so I got put into Taekwondo. It's BS. Taekwondo usually is BS. We'll get out of that on another time. It was mostly BS, but I had to fight. But I went to the barbershop and I had to fight this kid that was like bigger than me. I'm pretty sure he was younger than me, but he was just bigger because I was a small, frail kid. And somebody had to fight. I don't know if we were play fighting, but we were fighting, and I wasn't trained to like in a play fight. And we're just getting cheered on by the barbers. Everybody's yeah. Like they call bullfrog versus the dragonfly. I was the dragonfly. And this little kid was the bullfrog. And I won. Eventually he like fell down, started crying type stuff. So I won the fight, I guess. That's one of the biggest accomplishments because my dad was like telling me later, he's like, oh, I'm just saying, son, if you would have lost that fight, I was going to beat your ass. I was like, yo, hey, that's how shit is. Another one was learning how to swim. I learned how to swim old. I was like 11 when I finally learned how to swim, but it's one of the biggest accomplishments because like one of the things, just like riding a bike, I learned how to ride a bike late, but learning how to swim, I was like, oh, I need this survival skill. I mean, I'm black. You know the stereotypes. My third one was in 3rd grade. I had the longest fitness gram pacer testing. I was like the longest one that did that, and I remember the whole class and teacher cheering me on and everything. I got done. Everybody was hugging me and stuff for doing that. Hey, big accomplishment. I remember that vividly. And straight A's, 5th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. I mean, I was always an A, B honor roll student, but the straight A's, times I got straight A's, were big accomplishments because, I don't know, I guess there's always something I slacked on. These years I didn't. Boom. Oh, also, I can't believe I didn't write this down. 4th grade, we had to write an essay on drugs. Like, write an essay on, like, the do not say drugs programs and stuff. Say no to drugs, do not say drugs. Say no to drugs programs. I had to write an essay on that, and I got voted the best essay in the whole school. I'll take that. Some of my 5 favorite childhood foods. Again, I only put 4. I put oatmeal cream pies, banana pudding, my grandma's lemon pound cake, and red velvet cake. Of course, I put a bunch of desserts. All these things I still love today. Except oatmeal cream pies, I kind of stopped loving them for a minute. But I finally got some this week because the assignment was to buy some for ourselves this week. I got them, and yeah, I love them. I love them. And some harmful habits I was supposed to write down too. I put endlessly scrolling on IG, YouTube, TikTok, all that. Just endlessly doing all that stuff. Wasting time procrastinating because I have a really bad procrastination habit. Drinking caffeine too late in the day/night, which is what leads me doing burning the midnight oil and staying up all night and being absolutely exhausted throughout the day and pushing myself. And it all goes back into what I was explaining earlier about rest and recovery. Constantly overextending myself and staying up freakishly late. All those are. Obviously, I had something a lot on my mind last week when I was writing these. So yeah, going forward, it's a lot expanding. To be honest, is like I honestly don't even know what I'm gaining out of this. I'm glad I'm doing it. I've noticed a lot that writing really helps me, like, regulating my emotions. It's like understanding regulating my emotions. But at the same time, like, the recovery, creative recovery part, I'm not sure what I'm gaining with this. That doesn't mean I'm not quitting. That doesn't mean I'm quitting. I'm still going into week 4 strong. I'm not gonna go in strong like this and just quit just cause. But it's like, at what point will I know what I'm doing? That's just how I feel. Thank you for watching. See you guys on week 4.